Welcome back, everybody, to the Project Onyx podcast. This is podcast number 4, and tonight I am joined by Lurker Zero,
Hello.
Delementary,
What's up, guys?
Rapscallion,
Yellow.
and Carl's commentary.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So, anyway, how has everybody's weekend been so far?
Fantastic.
Super good.
It's pretty
How
good.
was yours, Clean? How was your weekend?
It's been okay. Like, MLG had the whole thing going on with Smash Brothers. I don't know if you guys have been watching that at all.
I was on that Smash stream with Uber Nick and Modest Major and Sought Vengeance earlier in the week, and we just sat there at a Skype call and watched all of the first round matches on Friday afternoon. We just sat there and hung out and talked shit to each other about how we could kick each other's asses in Smash and tried to sort out how to play it online. And I think Major and Nick eventually figured it out, but I mean, I just hung back because I know they'd destroy me. So I just watched the pros play, and it's so exciting to watch.
Yeah, and like Major, I was reading his tweets because I stalk him. And I was reading his tweets, and he played against somebody who's pretty, like, semi-pro, I would imagine, or somebody well-known or whatever.
It was definitely Mango, like, on his break. He was just, hanging out at the event, drinking a beer.
Right.
Decided to hop on Dolphin and play Major in a quick match.
Right. Well, like, he said, like, the online community, the online, like, play is so much more fierce than just, like, obviously 1v1ing the computer or whatever. He's like, well, I got 3-0'd a couple times or 4-starred or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, there would be no hope for me on that game.
Oh my god. It's like playing campaign in Halo all your life and then trying to hop on multiplayer and trying to get a 50 right away. You're like, oh jeez.
It doesn't translate.
These guys don't run the exact same direction every single time.
Never prepare you.
Right. So, all right, like always, every single week, generally, we talk about what games we've been playing. So, Lurker Zero, tell me what games you've been playing this entire week.
Halo 4 every day.
All day. All day, every day.
That's really all I played.
Play it until your eyeballs fall out and you rage at it.
Right.
Every week I'm gonna say that I'm gonna try to play another game, and really I'm just gonna end up playing Halo. So I'll just say Halo 4 this week.
But I mean, obviously, with some games being free, maybe some Street Fighter, maybe some Charlie Murder.
Maybe. I'll say maybe. It could happen.
It's a co-op
Ooh,
game.
somebody got a text.
Is Street Fighter supposed to come out on the Xbox One or is that Xbox 360?
No, Xbox 360.
Street Fighter 4?
Oh,
Yeah, Street Fighter 4 Arcade
Oh,
Edition.
wow.
that's
It's
that really competitive
gnarly.
one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really competitive.
That's
really,
awesome.
really competitive. Like, you'll get pooped on. All of us will get pooped on.
Oh, I wouldn't even attempt it, but I
No.
just like the idea of competitive games.
Right.
Yeah.
I could go into the dojo and probably get my ass whooped. You know what I mean? It'd be so bad. Del, what have you been playing?
I haven't played it yet, but just today, because this week and I think next week is the Steam summer sale. So I was telling these guys earlier, I actually picked up Outlast and Slender the Arrival for like $7.50 for both of them.
So
I'm a total pussy when it comes to scary games. Like, I
God.
get freaked out. So I have to have someone play with me. So it might be a while until I get around to those, but I'm excited to.
I honestly want to play. I want to see you play Outlast so bad.
I'll definitely stream it, dude. I will definitely stream it, and you guys can just laugh at me because I literally scream like a girl. I scream so loud when I get freaked out.
Yeah.
Like, me and my buddy played the original Amnesia together over a couple nights, and he got so mad at me a few times because I'd freak him out because I'd be sitting there and turn around and a monster wouldn't even be there. I just think he'd be coming around the corner and I'll still be like, ah! And just freaking scream so loud. And then he would jump.
I couldn't handle the original Slender. Like, I played that like with headphones in the dark just to get like the full atmosphere of it. I couldn't handle it, man. Like, I had to quit. Like, I just couldn't take it.
I know, man. Same here. Like, after the first 4 pages, everything just turns to utter chaos. It's really just gets really scary.
Dude,
If you mute the game, like, it's nothing, but it's just that atmosphere that the music gives you. Yeah.
and he just gets louder and louder.
The static,
And then
oh
your
my
flashlight
gosh.
dies, so you're just like sprinting through the dark trees, and all of a sudden you get murdered.
Okay, so what's
Oh,
the scariest game you guys have played? I'm sorry, Raps will come right back to you.
Okay.
Silent Hill.
Okay.
Silent Hill 3 made me physically ill. It's so. I'm serious. Like, if you haven't played any of the Silent Hill games, they are much more successful than the Resident Evil games as far as like making you feel uneasy and uncomfortable. It's like the Silent Hill games are pretty darn awesome. 2 and 3 are straight up classics in my opinion.
The guy with the triangle head or whatever the hell is.
Yeah, Pyramid Head.
Pyramid
Yeah.
Head, man.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
He is scary. He's scary in the movie.
Yeah,
he is
exactly. When he pulls that chick's skin off or whatever.
Oh,
Right.
so gross.
That's
Yeah,
pretty,
I've never
pretty
played
good.
the Silent Hill games, but I've heard they're really good.
That was the first PlayStation game I bought. I bought my PlayStation with Silent Hill. I went to it was called like EB Games at the time before GameStop bought them out,
GameStop.
and I went there
Oh.
and bought a refurbished PlayStation and got Silent Hill with it.
Bro, the first GameCube game I got was Luigi's Mansion, so I know about that first scary game. there are ghosts for days in that game, dude. It was
Yeah.
terrifying.
Carl's, what's the scariest game you've ever played?
I think the scariest game I've played would probably have to be Survivors. It's kind of like Slender, except you have a gigantic werewolf chasing after you and screaming in your face every 4 seconds. So, yeah, it's like really, really scary.
Oh, that's
Is that
PC. PC,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
PC.
Is that a new game?
And no, it's actually kind of old, to be honest. It's probably like 2.5 years old. I saw Rooster Teeth do a Let's Play on it, and I downloaded it, and it was honestly one of the scariest games I've ever played. So, yeah, I would recommend it. It's just super, super scary.
Raps?
Dude, back in the PS2 days, there was so much hype around this game. And literally all you did was walk around in this Japanese mansion and take pictures of ghosts while you're
Ooh, I
trying
know
to
what you're
take
talking about.
it's Fatal Frame.
Yeah, Fatal Frame.
Scared me to freaking death, man. Like just the atmosphere and the hype surrounding that game. Like if it wasn't for the hype, I would have never even known the game existed. So I picked it up just to see what it was about, and like I didn't even finish it because I just could not handle how ridiculously scary that game was. Like not only just the atmosphere of it, but like you can like pick up different like pieces of lore, like different pages. I guess kind of like in Slender, but you can actually like read about stuff that happens in the area that you're in, and then when you walk around and actually see it come to life, like it's like legit horrifying.
Yeah. The scariest game I played, thanks for asking, was
Go on, talk about yourself, Clean.
Condemned 2, man. Not the original Condemned,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Condemned 2. Like they had baby dolls like crawling after you and shit. Like I couldn't do it.
Oh.
I couldn't do it.
Those games were like first person melee like fighters basically, right? Like it was like kind of like a psycho brawler simulator or something. I played the first one.
And it's good. It doesn't take like the first one's just like, oh, everybody's on drugs, blah 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 blah. Well, this one's like, well, yeah, everybody's on drugs, but they're also like demonic.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a completely different thing. Like
What's it called?
man, Condemned 2,
Oh, okay.
Bloodshot, Xbox 360.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm gonna have to check that out then.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Honorable mention goes to Dead Space 2 for being like the most intensely like that first scene when you're straitjacketed or whatever is so gnarly.
Right. So, Raps,
Yo.
everybody's been watching your stream. At least I have. So you've been playing Dark Souls. What other games have you been playing this week?
Dude, that's literally it. I've been like straight Dark Souls, man.
I'm a Dark Souls grind.
That Dark Souls grind is so real.
Yeah, like it's a game. Like it's just I say this all the time, but like it's difficult, but it's not impossible. So it's like I've been grinding for the past 2 days to beat this boss. Like I think Carl, you were actually there when I beat it.
Yeah, the big fat guy.
Like it's like this like dragon guy and then like this really big fat dude as well. Like they're both like attacking you at the same time. Just trying to find an opening is just ridiculous.
What kind of boss pair is that? How did they become friends? Just like this fat guy walking around. Oh, Mr. Dragon.
Hey, Bubba, you want to go kill some people?
Yeah, let's get this going.
I'm not even gonna attempt to dedicate time into that game just because I know how difficult it is.
Dude, it's like once you finally beat it though, like just that gratification is like something I haven't gotten in a game in a very, very, very long time, and it's seriously got me hooked. I'm gonna be playing it till the end.
Yeah.
That one little taste of like when you finally get through a section you've been working on for so long, that just is just enough to be like, okay, I'll go on to what's next.
Yeah,
I kind of had that feeling with Darksiders in a way, just because that was for its time one of the less like waypointy-ish, I guess you'd say, games to where it didn't give you all the inside information. You kind of had to figure things out for yourself.
It's because it ripped off Zelda. It was like the poor man's Zelda.
No, it was. Everybody says that, but I mean, it's just like, well, I'm not going to argue, but I mean, like, I don't know. I prefer Darksiders, to be honest with you.
Ugh, travesty.
Travis, no. You, sir. The Wii U is that travesty. No, Wii U is actually coming up. Anybody else agree?
The Wii U, I could
completely, actually.
I think it could be so cool if they stopped making so many kiddie games.
But like,
just
Carl,
too many like Mario, too many like Zelda
that's their bread
games.
and butter, man. Like, you know what I mean? They're not gonna sell like what was there? One game called like Overkill or something like that, which was supposedly pretty decent. It was like a cell shaded, like really bloody.
It was
game.
like Sin City.
Right, it looks like Sin City, but that didn't move consoles. Like, what does? Oh, like Mario Kart, Smash
Zelda.
Bros, Zelda.
I don't mind kiddie games, but they have to go back to making good kiddie games. Like, I remember back in the day, the platformers that were made were just so fun. Like, I want to see a good, like, Banjo-Kazooie game, a really innovative Mario title, a new Zelda, all that stuff. Like, those games are genuinely good, even if they are designed for kids.
I would love to see a new Metroid. I think Metroid Prime, the Metroid Prime trilogy was one of the best adventure series you could play, possibly. The first Metroid Prime was absolutely incredible.
That was my favorite as well.
They've left that series to kind of rot, so...
Yeah, I couldn't believe that it was a girl.
Samus?
Like when you found out it was a girl, it was like, what? Because girls generally didn't take, like, the forefront.
Yeah, she's badass.
Yeah.
And then, like, the next girl, pretty, like, predominant or whatever, would probably be, like, the Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. And then after that, I don't know who else would be, like, a good girl, I guess you'd say, or a main person in gaming.
Like the girl from Mirror's Edge, maybe. What's her name? Faith?
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I didn't really like that game.
Wait.
I never actually played that game.
Shots fired, I guess, but...
It's too checkpointy.
No, it's very... It's a niche game.
Right, almost like a Portal, in a way, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
I would give you that. It's very
it's kind of a puzzle game in its own right. Just finding the path that you have to take.
Right. I was looking through a lot of like the Halo stuff into our like next subject. Nice little segue right here. So I was checking out. I was thinking to myself like, what sort of like we all know about Spartan abilities. Not a whole lot of people have like talked about them because we don't know a whole lot about them. We know that they're not armor abilities. So I don't think this next installment is going to have armor abilities. So that's a good news. But it's going to say something like Spartan abilities. Now he was saying something like, oh, it's like dual wielding or boarding like an enemy thing. Like that's a Spartan ability. Are there any sort of like Spartan abilities you guys think about or could be a possibility that might make the game different?
All I know is I don't want to see people ground pounding by default. Like if I'm jumping in the air, I don't want to like have to worry about them just flying down and punching me in the face out of the sky every single time. I don't know why they would show that so definitively if that's not something that will be in the game. But I just hope that it's balanced or set as sort of like a power-up thing. I don't know how they'll incorporate it.
I think you would have to talk about like the symbolism, I guess you'd say, that was there. That entire trailer was one big kind of like symbol. Sure, they may have been showing off some different like things, but the ground pound could have been groundbreaking new arena multiplayer.
Hashtag Halo.
Literal Halo trailer.
The symbolism, dude. The symbolism.
I mean, when it comes down to it, it was just a CG trailer. Like
right.
CG, like it's basically a cinema. It's not like any cinema can be taken at face value.
Right.
But I mean, there are other like arena type shooters that have done different kind of movement things or something like that, and I could definitely see them incorporating something like that. And I was thinking strictly movement abilities, like maybe they'd have like a a slide mechanic, like a knee slide or something like that, from other games that have been doing that. That seems to be the hot thing in first-person shooters right now for some reason.
Okay, so in your mind, Lurker, I'm sorry, Raps, we'll come like right back to you next or whatever, but in your like ideal knee slide mechanic, I guess you'd say, how would it work? You know what I mean?
That's the thing, though, is if it's not going to have... We're not 100% sure if it's not going to have sprint, but I feel like sprint and the knee slide go hand in hand, so it kind of seems like you can't have one without the other. It could be, like we were talking pre-show, they may just be sandbox things, you know, like Halo 2 introduced, like you said, boarding, and, you know, that wasn't something that was possible before, and so maybe it'll just be something that lets you interact with your environment more, or changes up the sandbox vehicle-wise, or just, you know, who knows. Maybe they'll add, like, interactive environments, environmental things, like, you know, like those turrets in Titanfall or whatever, where you can hack them or whatever. Maybe they'll have crap like that. Who knows? I don't know.
I hated those turrets. Is that just me?
Yeah, me too. I didn't like
They're
them either.
annoying. It's just an annoyance.
Yeah, I mean, that whole game's kind of
anything AI driven in a multiplayer arena. This should not be there.
Well,
me too, because it's like, I don't want to have to spend the time to try and take down a turret. It's annoying as it is. I'd much rather go and find an actual player to kill.
Now going back to the sliding mechanic, like I agree with you, Lurker. Like, I think the only way that would actually work, like, just in my mind, just like how the buttons would actually work. You know, like for me, it's the button layout that I use. Like, it would be pressing down the left stick. And the only way that I could see that would work, because like if you double tap it, you know, that's pretty much just like a tea bag. If you're moving forward and crouched, it's kind of the same thing. The only way I can really see that working, if they don't include sprint, is if they have like a Gears of War-esque like symbol that pops up on your screen whenever you're near a wall that you can actually like slide up on, which may, you know, just kind of talking about that, may also indicate being able to go up against like walls, even if you're not crouching. So like almost like a Rainbow Six-esque.
But that doesn't work for a first-person shooter. That completely would destroy Halo as in every mechanic that Halo's held on to as a first-person arena-based shooter.
Well,
I can't see that happening.
What about this? I don't know if this is a good idea or whatever. So just roll with me with this one, okay? Let's pretend there's no sprint at all. Which sprint is like, it's whatever. If it's in there, it's in there. If it's not, it's not. I can deal with it. Whatever. But I'm saying that like if there's no sprint. And like, let's say it's a slide mechanic, there would be no, like, what I would want to see is like you just use the slide to like recover your shield really quick, where you can't like aim out from it. You know what I'm saying? Like to where you can't like peek over and aim down sights and then like shoot somebody.
Like Destiny, where they, like all the trailers, they slide into people and shoot them at the same time or something like that.
Right. I wouldn't want to see it.
It could be like if the slide worked like that where you couldn't shoot, it would be basically a thruster pack that kept you glued to the ground.
Right.
Which some people would maybe be able to live with, because it would kind of have that same effect, but it wouldn't be as unpredictable.
To me, ideally, because they said that they are Spartan abilities, which implies that implies that they are base mechanic sort of traits that everyone can do. It would be cool to me, instead of it being like press X to do a slide like you're engaging a thruster pack or something, if it was simply more like press crouch while you're running forward at full speed, and you'll basically do, like Raps you were saying, do a slide crouch, which Halo 4 basically created that. Like before Halo 4, you couldn't slide into a crouch. It made crouch strafing like a thing, which was cool. Like that kind of changed up how you could strafe and how you could move it during 1v1 fights. So kind of taking that to the next level and making that crouch strafe an actual like sliding thing. So maybe you still could aim while you were doing it. It just became harder to do it because you picked up a little bit of speed or something, or you just changed your elevation. Just kind of more smoothly incorporating that into the actual strafe mechanic would be a way to do it. And that doesn't actually mean it's a power-up. It's just a different way of moving, and that would be sort of a base player trait.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see any sort of like third-person slide into cover. Even if it works like a thruster pack, I couldn't see it being heavily adopted for competitive play. So it's interesting to see if they'll make it one of the things where it is more like a detached entity where you could turn it on and off, or if it's really built into how your Spartan moves.
I think everything's going to be optional. You know what I'm saying? Like sprint's gonna
hope
be
they-
optional. Sprint, like whatever, everything's just gonna be optional. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if anything for custom games, they do need to bring back the customizableness of custom games, because that was, I mean, everyone knows that was something that became less and less fun to tinker with, is going and changing all the different settings and have the options to like adjust everything. So that would be cool to be able to fully tailor that experience.
Yeah. Raps, do you have like a certain like Spartan ability or at all or no?
I mean, like, I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would like to see. I mean, I honestly feel like just the base movement is totally fine with me. I mean, the only other thing that they've done, just other than armor abilities, of course, just kind of talking about Spartan abilities, since Halo 2 would be like the assassinations in Halo Reach. Like, that's really the only other thing that I can think of that they did.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, if that's another thing. I would love to be able to turn that off, because I hate anime assassination.
Or how about a choice?
I think, like, it's just like, sorry to cut you off, Clean, but I think
No,
like
it's
just
cool.
Halo 4 was just buggy for some reason. Anytime I would go to like backsmack somebody just by pressing the button, it would automatically go into that assassination.
Every single time.
So
dude.
yeah, like if they worked on that, so it was like a more definitive, like, okay, I know 100% that you're holding the button, so we're gonna do this animation rather than just me pressing it. I think if they worked on that, I'd be totally fine with it, because that's like the ultimate like screw you, like you just got owned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you got.
So you just want to go back to the straight
Yeah.
beatdown?
Yeah,
right?
I think I want the
want to
option.
go back to just the beatdown, dude. Nothing worse. Flanking two people, having two easy kills, but then you waste like 3 seconds. And just like punch him in the face instead of just like the quick pop and then getting the kill on the second guy. You gotta like Thor fist him into the air.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, dude. Like, okay, so we were talking pre-show, and everybody like poo-pooed my idea, okay, of the quick turn, okay? Like, you can see it in other shooters, like Unreal Tournament has it, and it's an arena shooter. I mean, granted, it's a little bit like less of a like kill time, I guess you'd say. But how a quick turn would work, I guess, in this situation was, okay, you're attacking somebody from the front, okay, and you kill him, but you're getting shot from the back, and then you would hit down or whatever on the D-pad maybe once or twice, and it does like a 180-degree turn to where you can quick turn and put shots into the guy.
Dude, sniping would be
Yeah,
so
we'll
just
insane
take-
though.
that'll take-
That'd be ridiculous.
Crazy match though. Like, I think Halo's like they share the same roots, but I think like it works for Unreal just because of how like crazy fast it is. But I don't really see that working at all in Halo.
Dude, that's
Straight
gonna
up
take
honest
quick
with you.
scoping to a whole new level.
Do what now?
It's gonna take
you-
quick scoping to a whole new level.
The
Can
first
you
dude that
imagine
gets
watching that kill cam? Like somebody just 180 scopes you. Like,
Called
Yeah.
the whip shot.
the first dude that gets quick turn snapshotted is just gonna rage quit, and he's gonna post it on
Neck
YouTube,
breaker.
and he's gonna be so pissed.
That would make me rage. I hate watching kill cams as it is. They're already annoying.
I would love to see no kill cams. That would
I
be
don't
good.
know.
Yeah, I hate kill cams. They've never done anybody any kind of service but making you mad.
I don't know.
No, the 180 thing, clean. It's a cool idea. The one thing that I don't like about it is it somewhat negates the benefits of like good positioning to get like flanks on people. Because when you're behind someone, as it stands, depending on their sensitivity, you can usually get at least a shot or two into someone before they have time to turn around and start shooting at you. So if they all of a sudden can instantly whip around, it almost takes away from like the intelligence it took to get around behind someone and like really capitalize on a flank. So I don't know.
Well, I hate you guys too. So that's fine.
I think we're
churning those ideas.
I think
We gotta
we're all
have
just
innovation, dude. Innovation.
I think we're all just worried about
Hold on.
gimmicks, dude. Like, we're all worried about things becoming gimmicky. Like, if you try to add too much onto base player traits, like, they can easily become gimmicks, and that's what's, the fine line you have to walk, I think.
So, yeah, I think like just the flashiness is where Halo 4 went wrong. Like, there's just too much going on. Too much going on the outer layers. I mean, as we all know, like if it's stripped down to its core, like Halo 4 is like an amazing game. But I think if they, which they are, I believe, is like stripping down everything, not so gimmicky, but like everything has its own purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that.
Just not having all the bloated stuff on there.
Yeah, like stuff like just is completely useless. Like the little drone that you can spawn, and like he just kind of shoots every 10 seconds at somebody. Like
Little Warmpy. That's his name,
Little
dude.
Sebastian. Yeah.
Little Warmpy covers my
Sebastian.
back, dude. Well, I camped the door with a suppressor and camo and a bolt shot.
Nice.
Just in case.
I've actually never used that thing.
It's
Dude,
so
you never run the Promethean troll loadout?
No, I run Promethean vision, please. What I'm saying that I've never used the like turret, the little friendly turret guy.
I know, man. Oh, whoa, what the heck? My voice just
Hey,
cracked.
it's okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
You're only
Yeah,
a
no, I know,
podcast.
I know.
It's fine. Only 100 people will see this. It's fine. No big deal.
No,
They'll just make fun of you. Can you give out your Twitter handle right now so
Oh
people
my
know where to
God.
contact you to make fun of you, or no?
Yeah. Well, that'll be in the description.
Description below.
At
Feel free to
Carl's
make fun of me.
Make fun
commentary.
of Carl.
Go right ahead, guys.
section below.
Hashtag
At Carl's
crack.
commentary.
Okay, guys. So get this. I've had this idea in my head for a while. I was playing a campaign a while back, and like this idea just popped up in my head. Okay, so Spartan abilities. What if? Okay, so imagine this scenario. You run. Somebody grabs sniper ahead of you, but they're like just like complete garbage with it. And like the only way to really get it is to either team kill them or like you find another weapon and swap it. So like throw your pistol on the ground, they pick up your pistol and they swap out the sniper. It's kind of like this whole like just debacle of trying to get that power weapon from them. But what if you could do like in the campaign, like you just walk up to your teammate, pull out the weapons you want to swap, and then like you have a little animation there to hold B or like to hold Y instead of like how you tap Y to swap your primary and secondary. What if you both held Y at the same time and you can swap weapons like that?
Like throw it to each other and bro fist.
That would be cool.
That'd be sick.
No,
I think
I don't know.
maybe each Spartan could like spawn with a magnet gun too, so they could just like throw them across the map like the oddball, and then you could maybe hit someone with it midair.
All right, Del.
I'm
Let's not
just
get too crazy. I mean, honestly, I think it would take too much time to like figure out, and then somebody's finger would slip or something like that. You know what I mean?
Dude,
I
all
don't
I can
know.
imagine. All I can imagine is like the mid-fight like raged swap where you don't mean to, and then all of a sudden you're like swapping a rocket launcher and you blow yourself up.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think that's just like holding down the Y button, which, like, if you think about it, like you never really do. Like, you just tap it to swap your stuff. But if you like held it down for like a second or two, I think that would count down on it.
Give it a little tappy.
Yeah, no,
tap,
that's cool. I like it. I can see it.
Carl's, you got anything for me?
I like it, it's cool, but I don't see that working for competitive play, to be completely honest. I mean, like, every second counts in a competitive game, so pros can't take the time to find a teammate to switch weapons, especially in a high-intensity game like Halo. It's still a cool idea, but I don't really see it happening, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
What about this? What if you can stockpile your weapons?
Like Doom style.
Everyone has a little troll hole.
Almost. What I'm saying is, like, you all start at your base. Like, let's pretend we're on the worst map available, Ragnarok, and we're starting at our base. And it starts with a snipe. Well, you can choose to pick up snipe, or you can choose not to pick up snipe. Okay, for some odd reason. Let's say people are stupid and they don't want to pick up snipe, and they just get in their little vehicles and they travel to the other base and they pick up like their snipe from the other thing and they bring it back. And then like all of a sudden you have control of these weapons, and then I don't know where I'm going with this.
And you got a
know,
little you got a
dude.
treasure
Yeah.
chest back at your base.
Right,
to,
you have a
like,
treasure
store all your
chest.
loot.
Right, exactly.
An inventory of weapons,
And then, like,
right?
Press B to bring up your inventory and swap
Right,
for
and
your
if-
swap for your diamond pickaxe.
And if you wait for so long, like let's say you negate like that thing. Let's pretend like weapons spawn every 2 minutes. Okay, so you just leave the sniper rifle there. Okay, the first time around. Then the second time it drops, it's like upgraded with either higher caliber bullets or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh goodness.
It's like that thing in like Call of Duty Zombies.
Sounds like you're heading into the attachment territory there, Clean.
almost, yeah. Like not heat-seeking bullets.
On,
I'm saying, like-
for a playlist like heavies where just shit is coming down everywhere and there's just like power weapons galore, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's almost like an arms race where you're just like building up power on your power weapons to create mega power weapons.
Or like double ammo or triple ammo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or like Promethean vision for your scope. Why not?
Yeah, dude.
do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it all. I want camo jetpack. I want a jetpack that like makes me more invisible as I fly higher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want. I want the ability to go active camo, have radar jammer, throw it down,
And just flare everyone.
flares going everywhere, and you're in a
God, I'm so
jetpack
glad you
raining
guys are
terror from above with Promethean vision.
And a binary rifle.
Binary rifle. Okay, so worst idea goes to cleanup, okay? Worst idea of the night goes to
Full
cleanup.
assault
Thank
when
you,
new
Lurker.
mechanics go to die.
I have no, like, honestly, I'm the worst
Dude,
idea person
this
ever.
just goes to show, like, I don't envy 343's. Like, the guys there have to be just so creative in the right ways to just
Right.
think of think of good stuff that won't just completely freaking screw over the whole game.
Like, literally, it is a zero margin for error. Like, honestly, it feels that way. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't forge ahead. You can't, like, move on and do something that you really want to do because you have this whole sector of Halo that kind of wants to.
Well, it's an established franchise.
Yeah, they just want the same old, and it's like, well, we don't really want to do that because we're going to attract more people, and then it's like you have to ride that fine line between, okay, you're giving the same old to those people, but at the same time you're trying to implement what you really want to, and it's just a mess, man. Like, I could not do it.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, think about all the things they've implemented over the years that have turned out awesome. Like, vehicle hijacking is awesome. It never doesn't feel awesome when you do it. I like when they introduced that in Halo 2, I was like, that rules. Every time, it's always been awesome. I mean, sure, they've been some follies, some mistakes, jetpack, but I mean, overall, like, there's tons of things that they've innovated on that have really just added another awesome layer to the franchise, and I think they could do the same. What
about dual wielding though? Do you think that has a place in Guardians, or do you think like it should just stay with 2 and 3?
I don't have as much experience with dual wielding as anybody else, so I want to know, like, coming from someone that's played a lot of like Halo games with dual wielding, what it's really like in reality. Like, I want to know what it's really like in all, like, boots on the mud.
You want to know the truth, bro.
Yeah, dude.
You want to know the truth.
Halo like 2 OP. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dual needles, Halo 2.
Right.
Let's go.
And then
dual maulers.
Yeah, that was fun.
But that was so, like, I don't know. You didn't have quite the area of, like, coverage, I guess you'd say, with maulers as you did, let's say, like a plasma pistol and a magnum. You know what I mean?
Dude, 2 maulers still isn't as good as 1 bolt shot. That's all I'm gonna say.
So sad. That's so true.
Because bolt shot can actually shoot bullets. They may be shitty bullets, but they can still shoot. But anyway,
they can shoot corn kernels.
Right.
Of death.
It's headshot capable, dude. All you need to do is F up a bolt shot and then shoot someone in the head.
Yep. But no, like in Halo 2, correct me if I'm wrong, it was, which I usually am, if you rolled around with, let's say, a plasma pistol in your left hand and then a magnum in your right, like, it was pretty decent. Like, you had to be a decent gunsman.
The magnum was absolute terrible.
No, it was the worst magnum ever.
Yeah, so that wasn't. I mean,
pistol,
the new combo at that point was better, but I mean, I don't know. To me, dual wielding has always been kind of meh. Like, I didn't mind it when it got taken out. For like Halo Reach and Halo 4, just because it's almost to the point of a little bit like too much, like not too much to handle, just unnecessary in my book. Like, you can make one weapon that serves its function and then have 2 that versus having 2 that kind of try to mesh one function together with 2 different functions. I don't know, it becomes diluted to me.
This is my thing, is that I like the fact that you start with an SMG purely for the fact that it doesn't have as much reach as the AR as your base starting weapon, so you won't have as much of that, like, dude that ARs you from a middle distance almost and then closes the gap on you. I hate that. Like, an SMG fills its role much better as a closer range weapon, automatic weapon,
No, I feel you, dog. I feel it.
Got those SMG feels, dude. I don't know, the SMG was so bad.
I really liked it. I liked
it sounded
wielding.
cool.
I used to like in Halo 2, I used to always roll with the SMG and the pistol, like SMG in my right hand and pistol in the left.
Yeah.
So like I just like get all their shields down with the SMG and just pop them in the head. Like I used to just mow people down with that. But at the same time, like I really wouldn't be upset if it didn't come back for Guardians. I think it was a cool idea at the time, but I just don't think it would work. You know, especially now with all the upgraded abilities that everybody's going to have. I don't really see it coming back.
Yeah, in Halo 2 it had a place, but in Halo 3 I think it lost that a lot to where it was almost like dual wielding was
silly.
Yeah, it was just weird.
What Team Duels was like an action sack in Halo 3.
No, it's a Team Slayer now.
It's a Social Slayer.
Social Slayer, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody vetoes that. Team
Dude,
Duels
I
on
love Team Duels.
Snowbound. Come on.
Oh,
that
God.
was my casual game. That was right up there with Dino Blasters, dude.
No, nothing beats Dino Blasters, man.
Did anyone play Dino Blasters this week?
No, I didn't play any video games.
What's Dino Blasters?
Carl, you didn't listen to the podcast, dude?
No, he didn't. Obviously.
Carl, come on.
No,
Dude,
no.
Dino
I
Blasters
did. I just forgot.
Was a game in social game in Reach where everyone spawned with unlimited jetpacks and concussion rifles, and they were elites. Apparently,
that's what it was called. Yeah, that was awful. That was terrible.
It's the worst. It's the worst. But yeah, speaking of 343, and as you guys know, it's an MLG weekend. I don't know if you guys are all caught up on that with your Call of Duty statistics and whatnot.
Didn't watch a single game.
When does Optic play? But anyway, so do you guys think that MLG should pick up Halo, or Halo should let MLG pick it up? Or do you think 343 should kind of run its own style of tournament or league or whatever? What are your thoughts? What say you?
I can start with this one just because I'm a little biased, but you know, that's what I do. I love MLG. I think they have such an awesome professional persona at this point, and they're such a well-established group. Like me and Major were talking about this earlier while we were watching the Smash MLG stream. It's solidified so well as a professional gaming appeal, and it's got the sponsors and it's got the support, the fans, the backing, all that stuff. I think it's such a good platform to like reinstate Halo as like the dominant first-person shooter, or at least get right up there with COD and compete on the main stage. 343, obviously they've shown that they have a lot of potential to run good events, like with the Global Championship. I just don't see that. I don't feel like that they could have the consistency, I guess, or the persistentness to continue to run season after season of like solid events, or if they'd have the money for it, or the support, or whatever, the developer support, the producer support from Microsoft to continue that, because everyone likes a big event, but what a lot of the hardcore fans like even more is consistent events and like seasons and stuff to train for and play for, and a reason to keep playing the game. Well, and I think MLG can offer that.
If there were 6 events, would that be okay, or do you think they need more?
6 events spread over the whole year until Halo 5 comes out. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah,
like
sure.
The Master Chief Collection. That would be sweet. That would be a lot, actually. That would probably be more than MLG would do. So, I mean, if they would commit to something like that and actually run that an event with the hype level that the Global Championship have, that would be sweet. But I just think to me, MLG is just so cool. I just would love to. I remember watching Halo 2 on MLG on TV when I was a kid, and that was just like the coolest thing to know that if I was good enough at the game that I play, that I could get on TV and just like be at that level. And
yeah.
I'd love to see that come back.
Raps?
Yo.
Idea? Do you have an idea? Do you?
Did I just kill the whole topic?
You killed the whole topic, I think.
Too convenient.
He like covered it all, honestly.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. All right. I honestly would rather see 343 run its own tournament. And I know you guys are asking, why? Why cleanup? Well, because here's the thing. Like, okay, imagine this. MLG goes 60-40, I think. So 60% of the money you give MLG goes directly to MLG, not to the players. 40% of that money actually goes to the players playing, into the prize pool. If you gave, let's say, Microsoft / 343, whatever. Let's say you gave them money to enter, and let's say they took that 60/40. Okay, 60% of that is going into either the next Halo game, or it's going into like help bring in engineers to work on the next game to make it better, to see the things that we want to see that might not be possible.
Do you really think that's where it's going though? Like, is there a way to know that?
No, but it's possible. I would rather give it to the company in which is making the game rather than some other company that's making money off of the game.
But then, I mean, by the same, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Go
By
ahead.
the same note, the company, if you're putting money into the company that's running the tournaments, that just enables them to have bigger and better events as time progresses. That's why MLG is such a huge thing now, because it had so much support. It had the money. People showed that they were willing to support something like that and give to it, and so it's become such a big, and that's how it kind of solidified itself.
Right. See, but the thing is, I don't give two shits about Sundance. I do care about like BS Angel and like Bravo and those guys. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but their salary isn't changing based on whether or not we sponsor their tournaments.
I know, but they have the possibility of directing the future as far as like engineers and other junk. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's kind of that whole idea of staying local, I guess, is what you're kind of getting at.
right, because there's like there's some companies out there that run like tournaments underneath their own game. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's the best thing, is because they can regulate everything and it goes directly to said company. Like, you know what I mean?
I guess me, just as a really old school Halo fan, I just relate MLG so much to Halo. It's like,
right.
Those used to be one and the same to me. It's like Halo made MLG and MLG made Halo. They became competitively popular so much together that it's like, it's hard for me to separate them. It's almost weird when like everyone just associates MLG with COD now, and it's kind of weird to me. It's like, no, that was Halo's spot. What are you doing? No.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just really salty after 2010 when Halo just got dropped, like in the mid.
No. After 2012.
No, it was
2010.
Reach 2010.
After Reach came out.
After Reach.
No.
yeah.
MLG.
It was
Halo
Reach.
was on MLG up until Halo 4.
No,
They did, like, they did
No,
the
dropped.
drop,
it
that
was
was it.
it was
No, they
2010.
dropped MLG. Listen.
I mean, they took like a year off, but they still had an event for Halo 4. Like, it was still technically.
Well, I know. I was at the event. I went to Dallas, but
Yeah,
I'm saying for Reach, when MLG dropped and it had no first-person shooter on there. I think it was the 2011 season.
Yeah, you're right.
It dropped it. It dropped Black Ops. It dropped the original Black Ops, and then it also dropped Halo Reach, which is whatever. I understand. If you're gonna drop one game, it should have been Black Ops rather than Halo Reach. But I'm just saying, like, whatever. I'm salty. I'm salty over that.
No, because Reach got so good with V7, and we won't go into that again. But yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm salty about it. I would rather not deal with MLG. That's just me. But like, obviously the name, branding, and stuff like that. Like, yes,
huge.
it has its own name and it's branded. But I don't agree with some of the structure that is involved. And I think that Halo players will eventually get taken advantage of. I don't know. That's just me, because we don't have quite the fan base that Call of Duty does. And so it doesn't matter whether those players have MLG or not, because they can still make YouTube money. They can still make like definite progress from like sponsorships and stuff like that. Whereas with Halo, we have no sort of electronic entertainment, I guess you'd say. So it's just like, well, what are we going to do? We need MLG, whereas COD players don't necessarily need MLG to thrive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that could just be due to us being smaller right now as well. Like, I think once like the Master Chief Collection comes out, Halo 5 comes out, and Halo gets big again, and all of a sudden people are watching it on YouTube and watching it on Twitch, it'll be a different story. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's why Battle Royale just needs to become like an epic league.
Yeah, we'll see. Like with the announcement of no spectator mode in the Master Chief Collection, which is
Oof. Yeah.
Like, it's sad. Like, I was banking on it, but I'm definitely banking on it for Halo 5.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
100%. So, without spectator mode, I mean, we'll see. I know that there's a battle royale coming up. It's going to be 2v2 where you get to pick your own partner, which is a big thing, as opposed to just like a random draft. So that way you have somebody to count on. And I believe it's going to be all pro mod settings. So you're not going to have to worry about ordnance, sprint, other things like that. Probably on throwback maps. So it's going to be cool. And it's probably going to be in 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Hype.
Do you guys have anything else to talk about? I know you guys stayed kind of silent, and it got really awkward when me and Dell were yelling at each other.
Go, MLG, go, 3-4-3.
You never introduced your woman.
My only thing, which we'll do that in here in a sec, but my only thing with MLG is like I just have this fear that Halo 2 coming back is going to be like a fad with them. Like it's kind of like I just don't know if I see the longevity of like a 10-year-old game like staying in the MLG circuit. Whereas I agree with you. Like Clean, I think it would have more of a home just now. At least just the Master Chief Collection with 343. Now, and the reason I say that is I think like the hype surrounding Halo 2. I think like obviously it's there, but I don't know if it's going to be something that can last for like years to come. I think it'd be like a 1-year thing, honestly.
Until Halo 5.
Right. Well, like, think
Right.
about it this way. They just a little known fact or whatever. They brought back Halo 3 game battles.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Did you guys realize that?
I saw that.
So it's a reason to get on Halo 3. And they did it because of the popularity or whatever. They saw everybody was streaming it.
It's all
was
about the
let's
hype.
do
It's
Halo
all about
3.
the viewership. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's what it is. At the second that Halo starts dropping in numbers, that StarCraft started dropping in numbers, boom, it's off the circuit. There's no loyalty. There's no like whatever. At
Just
least
comes down to popularity.
right. Like what you were saying, Ravs, it would probably have a home. You know what I mean? And I think it would be more of like a solid one, I guess you say. Like I don't care where the money goes to. I just want it going to the actual company making the game rather than somebody who's just like a middleman. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, all right, let's say Ghost. Like Ghost. Imagine what they had to do to make Ghost semi-competitive to be played at a pro level. Like, what did they have to change? Because the whole game is so broken. Like, what did they have to change? I can't even imagine.
They'd probably Frankenstein the hell out of it.
To me, they would have to like up the. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the pro settings are like. They just figured out that one of the guns with the silencer kills faster on land than it does normally. Like they just figured out that the game is so bugged out that that the MTAR with silencer kills faster on land than it does if you're off host.
Gross.
That's ridiculous, dude. Like it's such a poorly made game that they must have had to band-aid the crap out of it for it to work. And yet they still feature it as their featured game because COD's popular.
Right.
And it's got a spectator mode.
Well, trust me, once everybody makes that transition, like people are going to make that transition. I think there, like I said multiple times, I think there's going to be some sort of mass exodus.
Dude, once Nade Shot comes to Halo 2, another 30,000 will come with him.
See, but I don't know, man, because like he played Halo, like he's been streaming Halo.
Yeah,
and, like,
he's hyped for it.
His games, he's going like 7-27.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's not a Halo pro. He's a COD pro.
Well, right, but
it's not about the skills though with him, dude. It's just the label of Nade Shot. It's like the brand.
Like you don't understand. I support him 100%. I will roll out a red carpet for his ass to come to Halo and bring all of the people there. But I'm just saying, like, I think it's going to be a rough transition, but I think there's going to be a mass exodus of like Call of Duty players to play this upcoming Halo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like Advanced Warfare still looks like, although it's got all the gimmicky stuff like the crazy grenades and double jumps and stuff, like it's still Call of Duty. Like it still looks exactly the same as all the others, just aim down sight shooter, first person, see the other one wins. I definitely agree with you there. Like the choice, like just seems so clear. Like for $60, you can get the same game with some gimmicky stuff added to it, or you can get 4 games for the same exact price.
I
With
think
the hype level, that's just insane. I think it's going to be the clear choice for people on Xbox One
Go ahead,
to get
Lurker.
Halo.
I think it's going to depend on if it's really going to depend on how good or bad Advanced Warfare is. Because honestly, like, I don't know that Halo 4 would have had such a bad time if it weren't for Black Ops 2 being a good, solid, competitive, like one of the best CODs to come out up until this point. Like,
Right.
if Advanced Warfare is garbage, yeah, like
That's
people
the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, exactly. But like this, we don't know what Sledgehammer can do. No one knows. I mean, they helped make Modern Warfare 3, and Modern Warfare 3 was dog crap. So who knows? Who knows like how good it is? And they've said they've been catering basically to pro players, which is what Treyarch did with Black Ops 2. So
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean,
who knows? But they're rookies. It could be crap. It could be the worst COD ever made. Who knows?
until you take those steps to hire actual previous pros or current pros to help make your game,
Yeah.
they still don't have shit on 343. Like that's plain and simple.
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
That was
I mean,
blatant. That was blatant
Yeah.
awesomeness on their
Right.
part.
Carl's?
Hey, what's up?
Carl's.
What's up?
Hey,
Hey, man.
you've been kind of quiet.
We haven't heard the crickets yet outside.
Yeah, sorry, my dog got out again.
Good God, you put her on a leash.
I did. She got out.
And she chokes to death then.
I just think I don't know. I want the best for Halo. I want the best for 343, and like I think it's gonna come sooner rather than later. I just really want to see. Like, to me, Master Chief Collection is great. Like, it is a great, I guess you'd say, it'll keep me occupied 100% until Halo 5 comes out, but I'm really anxious to see what Halo 5 holds. Like, at the end of my mind, Halo 2 and Halo 3, whatever. To me, the Master Chief Collection is just Halo 2. Can I say that? Like, is that allowed?
Totally. Absolutely, man. Halo 2 and Halo 1 for me, too. Playing Halo 1 online will be sick.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was talking to some guys earlier, like, I plan on playing probably very little Halo 3, just because I don't like it as much as Halo 2, or even Halo 4 for that matter, a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm definitely going to spend a lot of my time on Halo 2 because, like, I didn't really get to play that much of it, although I was in that age group that, like, played it online. I was just, like, dirt poor and didn't have Xbox Live until, like the last couple of months that Halo 2 was out, and I literally only got to play, like, just, like, maybe 1 or 2 matches, and that was it. So Halo 2 online is going to be, like, a new experience for me.
Right.
Although I do get to play a lot of LAN, like, just, like, hooking up TVs
Yeah,
and, like,
same-
having tournaments
same,
and stuff
man.
like that. I never really get to play online that much, so that's going to be really great to see and experience.
Right. End goal is Halo 5. I think
Exactly.
Halo 2 is just kind of the tide you over sort of thing.
Master Chief Collection is, tide you over, and it's always something to fall back on in case disaster strikes.
No, well, not disaster.
On a
Just like
super negative note.
a new, like, you know what I mean? Way to go, Dell.
Bringing down the podcast.
I mean, it's the ultimate fan service. It's like it's guaranteeing those games will never be forgotten. They won't get left behind on the last generation. They'll always be there for us. They'll
Right.
be there for us if these systems go as long as the last generation did. They'll be there for us for the next decade after they've already been there for a decade past. Like
Now,
it's
20
ensuring
years.
they'll have a place in history and they'll always be at a fingertip for us. That's
now
awesome.
the sad thing is, and what's going to result of this is kind of the death of XBC for most people. You know what I mean? Like, not a whole lot of people are going to be playing on Xbox Connect or whatever.
Those 20 guys will be real sad.
Well, no, but think about it, man. Like, I always say, like, I have heart. Are you beating somebody, Carls?
Are you like
Carls, what's going on?
You have raccoons in your trash cans, or is that just like fireworks?
Yeah, sorry guys. That's just some background noise. Pay no mind to that. Continue, my friends.
Like-
Continue.
I feel like, do we need to call 911? What's going on?
He's
Out
like
in the
just
wilderness,
shooting
man.
the zombies that are coming at him in his backyard.
I'm the master of my own domain. I can handle it.
No, but I mean, well, I lost it because I was like, well, is Carl's okay?
Is he alive?
He's ramming into shit. Anyway, yeah, I I think that like Halo 5 I believe is going to be the best first person shooter out from a competitive standpoint. And we have to be patient and we have to take the beta for what it is. Don't get those rose colored glasses out or whatever. Like really take in everything and be honest. Because I think some people weren't honest with Reach. Some people weren't honest with Halo 4. They just wanted to get their hands on Halo again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I think this time we really need to just tear it down and like look at it for what it is. And
I think this time we're also afraid of gimmicks that will like analyze the hell out of it and probably break it down a bit too much.
I mean, possibly, but they have their own mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, they can take everything with a grain of salt.
Right, exactly.
Just like we should.
But I mean, obviously, if there's a glaring issue, I trust that 343 will take care of it. I'm just glad that it's a year. They're going to take a year, figure it out. Boom.
Boom.
That's why I have the utmost respect for them. And I think that we'll see something kind of like a war almost again, and it'll be nice because Halo 5 is releasing against a Treyarch game.
Yeah.
So whatever the next
showdown.
Right, and it's a showdown. That's what it is. I mean, what 343 is going to go up against Sledgehammer? I'm not worried. Like it's just that it's game over.
Yeah, Treyarch's the only COD company you need to be worried about. To be honest with you, like
And
Infinity Ward, I don't even think they should be allowed to make the next COD. To be honest,
No.
But like Treyarch makes good games. They know what they're doing. They're a proven studio.
Yeah. So
That doesn't make me scared of them. That makes me excited for more just competitive games and more competition.
Yeah, exactly.
In the market.
There's
That's
room
good.
out there
That's
on the
good
market.
things.
it's
Yeah.
good. Well, anybody else have some final words?
Go Halo 5. Hooray!
That's it. That's it. Rabs? Anything?
Good night. I got nothing.
Carl's?
Carl's is already doing battle in Raccoon Land.
Yeah.
He's become the king of the Coons.
I'm the master of my own domain. I can handle it.
Right.
I'm really excited for the Master Chief Collection. I mean, Halo 1 and Halo 2 are going to be very exciting because, like, I never really had a chance to play the multiplayer for those games. And I'm hoping that if you guys aren't too busy with Halo 2, maybe one of you would be willing to hop onto Halo CE with me. Maybe. Just maybe.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna be on. We'll do that 2v2 grind, man. Halo CE 2v2s.
But I'll tell you this. The competition that, like, if you're going to be in a good lobby, like in Halo 4, if everybody picks legendary BRs, like, okay, this lobby's probably going to be decent. If people start picking, like, 8 people pick Halo 1, dude, get ready. Because the shit, it is about to hit the fan, and it's about to go down. Like, Halo 1 players have probably not stopped playing the game. And so there's going to be, like, this... Halo 2 is just going to have a lot of people. Halo 3 is going to have a lot of people. I think the fiercest competition is going to be on Halo 1.
Because when you know that game, you become nasty at that
Right.
game.
Just, it's really nasty, but yeah. Well, guys...
More conversation for another day.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in, as always, and we'll check you later.
I'll check you later.
Shut up, bitch.
Check.
I hate you.